The opinions made in this video do not necessarily coincide with that of Imaginary Goddess, or anyone else for that matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey guys, this is Ben Wheeler, the Mercenary King, here with State of Play. I'm going to cover all of the GBO1 cards, triple rares, double rares, and then commons and rares divided up by clan. The triple rares and double rares are by no particular order. Yeah, just my opinions, decks I'll be making with them. So sit back, relax, percolate a while, and then maybe get out of the percolator. That sounds dangerous. Enjoy. Hey guys, Ben Wheeler, the Mercenary King here, with commons and rares for BTO. Excuse me, GBO1. It's pretty sweet. A lot of stuff I feel is misplaced when people don't go over the cards. Not sure if anyone's actually doing it, but hey, here I am, State of Play, Mercenary King. Fantastic. Alright. I'm trying out a new thing. I'm doing it over my laptop. One hand is holding the camera. One hand is acting as the puppeteer in the ass of the willing and Safi puppet. And so we'll see what happens. My double R's and triple R's will be rushed, but I'm not as interested in them as I am others. I will be showing off some decks very soon. I'll especially have one up for I'm going to be recording an Ezel deck later, but not for this video. But I'm also going to be reworking my Nova Grappler deck from Asura Immortal. A couple of other things like that. Asura Immortal hasn't aged well. So first card here, I've got Timepiece Draco Kid. He is just a grade 3 searcher, but he's not like Gunner Gear Dragon in that this guy prevents ride stuck, whereas the other guy just searches for a grade 3. The would not run, honestly. I find grade 3 searchers boring. I do run one in my Dimensional Robos deck, but that's just because there isn't really a better one. I want to run Black Boy or a few other ones. Here we have Wakey Worker. He's pretty interesting. At the end of turn, and the battle is unit boosted. Choose a face-up G unit in your G zone, turn it face down, then return this card to the deck, shuffle deck. It's nice. I do like what they're doing with stands and others, and I'll probably be including more cards like this in my decks as time goes on, just because of how good they are, and because they return stuff to the deck for abilities. It's like 2 a.m. Having cards that go back into the deck that are triggers without Legion is nice. This guy is Steam Battler Meshta. Really strong steampunk aesthetic with this one, but no abilities. If you run crits, draws, the standard, I do recommend. Then we have 4 of the Soul Blast 2, draw 1. Steam Scare Gigi. She's alright. I mean, she is what she is. She's a good unit to combo up with Lulu if you run a heavy soul deck, giving card soul. Honestly, Gear Chronicle doesn't need her because of their abilities allow for huge hand anyway. But I guess it's a good speed up for the Legion, which runs on... No, the rear guards run on soul. So, there's a lot of precious soul here going around. Gear Chronicle is a Dark Zone nation. So, they do have a soul mechanic. So, like this, you wouldn't run it. Maybe you would run it in Dark Irregulars, but still. I wouldn't recommend it. Here is a 9k attacker as a grade 1. Steam Rider Dizcull. I don't know. He's alright. He looks interesting. Better than the 10k on Vanguard attack when you got G-Break 1 going on. Oh, yes. And then we have Steam Breath Dragon. He searches out for a Chrono Breath Dragon when you discard a grade 3. Hold up. When this is placed on rearguard circle, if you do, search for a Chrono deck, put it into your hand, choose a card from your hand and discard it. Okay. Yeah, he's good for, and he counts as a grade 3 to pay for Stride, which is really nice in general. I am going to be running some of them in Royal Paladin's deck, not because I'm running Ultimile, but because I need fodder for Stride. And I'm just going to see how that works. Here we have, oh my goodness, why is one-handed so hard? Summit Great Gear Wolf. He is like a, really, he is like a, he's like a Tonfa Brawler Arc, in that he gets plus 3k every single time you kill something, return something to the deck from the rearguard circle. It's nice. He's a pretty good booster. He hits deceptively high numbers. For some reason, Gear Chronicle does have pretty solid stuff here with it all. With their rearguards, especially their boosters. Their grade 2s, I feel, lack a bit of power, and those that do don't get the power soon enough. Like this bear thing. No, it's a mechanized Gear Tiger. He's Soul Blast 1 when you have a Stride unit on the Vanguard circle. This unit gets plus 5k until end of battle. Not too bad. If you run a Stride all the time deck, which you can do, it's not bad. Here we have one of the better cards of the deck, in my opinion. In the game, not the game, but in this set is Steam Knight Purser Ill, Soul Blast 2, until end of turn. When this unit attacks Vanguard, you may pay the cost until end of battle. Your opponent cannot call grade 0s to guard zone. My goodness, that's right, everyone. He's a Tom. And he's a rare. Yep. He legions with this guy. Rain Disposal Dragon. Who, when he legions, you can turn a grade 2 or less to the bottom of the deck. And when this unit attacks, he also gets plus 2k. Nice. Works. Don't really care for him myself. I think I'll be running Fate Wheel Dragon and Chrono Jet Dragon just to mess with an opponent's hand and make sure they can't guard whenever they have to. Like, you start with one and then go to the other once they get used to it. During your turn, this unit gets plus 3k for this is a Steam Maiden Elul. During your turn, this unit gets plus 3k for each face-up unit in the guard zone. Pretty solid. Like, it could get up to plus 24, so that's 35k. Soul Blast 1, this unit is placed on the Vanguard zone. You may pay the cost if you do choose up to. Choose one card from hand, call it to rearguard circle, choose one of your units, plus 5k. It's kind of Royal Paladin-y, but it's pretty solid. I guess it's like shooting people forward or boosting them, I don't know. I'm not an angel, just often mistaken one for one. Sure, girl, sure. You tell yourself that. I do like her. I just don't think a deck with her in it is going to be very good. That came out wrong. I don't think that... I don't like it. She's not as good as other stuff out there. I'll say it like that. And she doesn't fit the winning image of the deck I'm trying to make. So next, I'll talk about Kagero. Yay, Kagero. For starters, we have Wyver Kid Ragla. He is counterblast 1, put this unit into the soul. Choose a grade 1 or less rearguard of your opponent and kill it. That's pretty solid. It works. Personally, I won't run him. He is a Generation Break 1. By the way, everything in there probably had some form of Generation Break. No, over there. Had some form of Generation Break 1. I just decided not to mention it because I forgot. Let's see here. Except for the Legion guy. The triggers. Okay, the 9K attacker didn't. The Soul Blast 2 didn't. Mechanized Gear Tiger didn't. But just about everything else did. Steam Breath Dragon technically didn't, but it's on Stride anyway. And lastly, Rain Disposal Dragon did have a G-Break 1. I'm sorry, was Legion, which is a different sort of restriction. And so is different. However, you're likely to Stride before you Legion, so... Here is a G-Break 1, Lizard Soldier Vera. He is when an opponent's rearguard is put into the drop zone from an effect of one of your cards, choose one of your units, and they have plus 10k until end of turn. Return this unit to the deck, shuffle deck. This ability cannot be used again. He's nice, but excuse me. But Stands and Kagero aren't that great compared to some of the stuff out there. Crits just work better. I will consider using him in a deck if they produce another stand equal value. Here's a new crit trigger. Not very good art for some of these things, but better than Narukami. Is Magnum Shot Draco Kid. Now here's where some good art is. There's still Gatling Claw Dragon, who's better, but this is Dragon Dancer Ectorina. And if I wasn't running him, I'd run her. I really like the Dragon Dancer art series. They got this great sort of Eastern belly dancer look, which is... I apologize if that's a foul gesture in your language. But, you know. Here is Dragon Knight Rashid. They've got sort of an Arabian theme going for some of these things, but it's He's dressed like a samurai of some kind. I don't know. The art's ugly as hell. I'm sure it's made by somebody famous, and some fanboy's gonna be like, meh. But it takes two to meh, and you're dealing with a meh master. Mother Orb Dragon. Okay, art. There's better. At this point, like with Kagero and others, if they don't have a archetype on them, there's no reason to run them because you just find the best art you like. I mean, if someone really likes this art, go for it. But I don't like the art. I got better ones. There's like 3 different Dragon Dancers for heals. That's right. I've got Perdition Dancer Anna. She's okay. Sort of Dance of the Seven Veils going here. Soul Blast to Perdition. When it's placed on R, if your opponent doesn't have any rear guards in the same column, pay the cost. If you do, choose 2 cards in the damage zone, turn face up. She's okay. I might run her in my Pain Laser deck, but I'm not too sure. It doesn't really use Soul, and a lot of the stuff can go to Soul to replace it. So, Dragon Knight Monoreth. He's a 10k attacker 1, G-Break 1 when you're attacking the Vanguard. Barely useless. Kagero has a lot of utility that you don't need those guys. Now, here is... I was a little disappointed in the art for this guy. It is Wyvern Strike Garen. New AK for Kagero. I think Dragon Armor, Embodiment of Armor Bar is better art-wise, but it's fancy art, and if you didn't like Bar, you'll like this. But again, there's better utility to run this in Kagero. Here's an interesting card. Energy Flame Atheonic. Put this unit in the soul. When a rearguard is put in the drop zone from the effect of one of your cards. Opponent's rearguard, pay the cost. If you do, choose cards, arts made damage zone, turn it face up. Interesting, but He's a minus for a unflip 2, which is like, I mean, if you're playing it where you're killing things during your attack step, he's great. He's fantastic. And then you have other things that during your attack step kill more things. He combos, but I like him better than Anna, but I don't like him better than a lot of other things. Lava Flow Dragon, again, Dragonic Blade Master Searcher for a discard, also counts as a grade 3 for Stride. If you build Stride decks for Kagero, he's useful. Obviously, because Dragonic Blade Master is like the only Stride they have worth a darn. G-Breakers, as they say. This is a 12k attacker for Generation Break 1 when attacking a Vanguard. Again, not as useful as an actual 12k attacker. If you're running a Stride-only deck, he is useful. More than his grade 1 partner. Now, if I recall correctly, this was like the first card revealed. Perdition Berserker Preta. And he's got some text on him. When your opponent's rear guard is put in the same column, assuming a drop zone, if you have a Vanguard with Perdition in the name, top 5 cards, choose for basically a Persona Blast. Same name as the unit on the Vanguard circle. So you could pay for Dragnewt pretty easily with this guy from among them, or Dragonic Overlord. Put rest in the bottom of the deck in any order. He's okay. You know, he's a plus for what's usually a minus, and I think he makes things like Pain Laser and Dragnewt more versatile when comboed up. Let's see here. Hulk Roar Dragon. Hulk Roar Smash. Counterblast 2. When an opponent's rear guard is put into the drop zone, do the effect of one of your cards. Choose another of the opponent's rear guards and retire it. Honestly, Counterblast 2 for a non-archetype is a little bit expensive, especially since he doesn't do anything else. He's not very efficient. But I suppose if you're not using any generic stuff, it's better than nothing. This is G-Break 1. Dragon Knight Tenaz. When your opponent's rear guard is put into the effect from one of your cards, he gets plus 5k. It's alright. I'm honestly considering working it into my Kagero deck since I run Pain Laser. You know, for the kids. Wyvern Strike Doha, 10k attacker. Looks kind of like a Dragonic Kaiser. Vermilion or something. He's an okay card. They've got like 6 10k attackers. I'm sorry, 10k defense cards. Just so you know, this is the generic grade 2. Just like, where is he? This is a generic grade 1. Everything else is a restriction that gives an ability. If it's a 6k, it's got to have a really good ability. If it's a 7k, it's got a mediocre ability. No ability, it's an 8k. That's how it's supposed to go anyway. See here, ability 7k. And then we have here common Ace, Counterblast 2. There's also a Stride unit, Mahmoud, who is on hit, kill something. He's a Stride. So, just wanted to mention him. G-Break 1, Counterblast 2. Choose a rear guard and retire it. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. When it's placed on Vanguard Circle, choose one of your opponent's grade 1 or lesses and retire it. It's an auto, which is nice. Problem is that it's Counterblast for killing 2 things. Let's see here. I mean, I see how it works with, supposed to work anyway with Perdition Dancer Anna. You're supposed to combo them up with Perdition for various cards and combo effects, as well as, where is he? Aethne? Come on, where are you, little scamp? He's nowhere. That's where he is. Oh my goodness. With Aethne to basically produce to basically keep the counterblast flowing. Honestly, not the best thought out stuff here. Double Perish Dragon, no. I will not be running him in anything I really do here. Alright, so that's the Kagero and the Gear Chronicle. Now to move on to OTT and Royals. Anyway, Royal Paladins. First card is a Snoo starter. They already have one like this from the old Royal Rise to Royalty starter. Knight of Drawn Sword. Discard a card, put this guy in the soul, draw a card. He cycles through cards, but he is a minus, like a -1/2, but still he's a minus. So I don't like him. Yeah. So here's a card I do like. Ben, what cards don't you like? You don't like a lot of cards. Well, because a lot of these cards are for decks I don't want to build. Encourage Angel. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, choose up to two of your other units, and those units can get +3k until end of turn. Works really great in an Alfred Ezel deck that's stridden. Return +3k until then return this unit to the deck, shuffle deck. Really nice. You summon them out with the ability. You place it, you get 2 things 3k, and then you put this right back. It's how it works. It's how it's done in Vanguard, Italy. Damn Italians. Ruined Italy. Anyway. Damn Scots. They ruined Scotland. Knight of Flash. Crit trigger. Don't think that this will end with just a single stroke of my sword. Which is like, dog, the longer this goes out, the more chances the other guy will win. You're just a crit trigger, man. You can't fight the great. You just can't do it, Rocco. Anyway. Again, there's a lot of good art. Like a lot of this set, there's a lot of good art out there. This is a card I'm considering running in Alfred Ezel, even though this is an Ultimile Searcher, and because it's a great stride fodder, which is nice. You stride once, and then all of a sudden, all the G breaks you have are taken care of. His name is Laurel Knight Syphilis. Poor name. Gigantech Shot Putter. These are the giants that serve Royal Paladins. And it's GB1, +1, retire this unit, choose 2 units, gets +5k. This will work early game, but late game, when you start running out of units to summon out of your deck, don't play him and use his ability. He's nice, but he's, once you're out of rear guards to put back into the deck, it's sort of gets difficult to boost. For some reason, I only have one 9k attacker. Knight of Shield Bash. He's okay. But there's better units to play. This is Royal Paladins. This is a Seeker card, much like how... Oh, look, there's the rest of them. This is a Seeker card, much like how Perdition Dancer Anna, was a Perdition card. This guy is retire this unit when this unit attack hits a Vanguard. This unit boosted a Seeker. Pay the cost, search for a Seeker, would call it tapped. Until shuffle deck. It searches whatever Seekers you need. It's nice. It's real nice. If I was running a Seeker deck, I would run him in a deck. In a Seeker decks in general, especially ones that allow me to draw and stuff like that. Especially if I need to search out a grade 1, I don't know. Here is Starlight Violinist, Soul, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, with this unit placed on rearguard or Vanguard circle. You may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 grade 2 card not named Starlight Violinist. Call it to rearguard circle and shuffle deck. So here's an interesting combo. You run him with the Sanctuary of Light deck. You can actually ride him, play search out because of how it works. You can pay the cost and search out top 7 for a grade 2, as well as summon out something from the deck that isn't named Starlight Violinist. It's nice. It's interesting. I'm going to run him in Alfred Ezel. Not because of power, because he's an 8K, as he should be, um, but because it allows me to combo more. More combos, more cards out, thinner the deck gets. Legion the crits back in. Legion the stands back in. With unit attack, it's a Vanguard. If you have a Vanguard Seeker, choose one of your units' damage zone, turn it face up. Choose one of your other units plus 2K. No. Not as good as Brave Gull. Okay, so here's the sort of like that one guy from Kagero. His name is Militaristic Knight Marianus. There we go. And he's okay. His deal is when this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, search your deck for a grade 2, call it to rearguard circle, shuffle deck. This works well with things like Knight of Fragment, which means that you have guaranteed 2 grade 2s in the front, as well as, other cards like it. They've got such a focus on grade 2s, I don't even know how to properly deal with it. I can't even. It's not how I think. I think of the deck. The grade 2s flow into the grade. I'm sorry, the grade 1s flow into grade 2s, which flow into aces, grade 3s. Also, Soul Blast 1, this unit pays place in Vanguard. Pay the cost, Soul Blast 1. Choose a card from your hand, call it to R. Choose one of your units plus 5K. Is this some sort of generic thing that you can do for most of it? I don't know. Elu has the same ability. Yep. Except I think hers is on command. This guy is GBO1, Knight of Great Spear. Look at that spear. It's great. Big. Counterblast 2. Choose 2 units plus 10K. You can do it multiple times in a turn. Plus 5K, excuse me. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. When this unit placed on Soul Blast 1. Search your deck for a Knight of Great Spear, call it to rearguard circle, shuffle deck. You have to be careful with this guy. He can waste counterblast really fast. He's a decent deck with him, but I feel that, there's a lot of better stuff out there. And, who's going to play Pendragon if not me? Who? Pendragon needs more love. He does. All right. So, hold up. There we go. So OTT has a new build and new art style. It's less about girls and stuff like that and angels and whatnot. But more about sort of shrine guards and Japanese priestly culture, which is neglected. I mean, don't get me wrong. A shrine maiden in the heat of beauty. But they're doing shrine dudes, and that's like, Counterblast 1, put this guy into soul. Chop 2, choose 1, put it into hand. That's actually a plus 0.5 because you're losing this and you don't know whether or not you'll get a grade. Put the rest of the bottom of the deck in any order. You don't know if you'll get a grade 1 to replace him with, or if you have a grade 1. But if you have a grade 1 already, use him. I like him a bit better than others, but there's so many builds possible with OTT that he gets overshadowed. If you're building a stride only deck from the new stuff, he is a good card. Couldn't ask for a better starter. Draw trigger here. Windfall, Daiku 10. There we go. Okay. I do like his art. This guy, he's got some sort of Slavic thing going along with the Japanese theme. Or maybe it's just the hat and the shoes. Maybe it's just the hat and the shoes that remind me of Slavics. Like, how many of you guys have read, like, really old mythological stuff? And they have, like, the national dress and whatnot. And then it sort of comes back later to you. Well, I read a lot of those books as a child. A lot of those books. So, you start picking things up as to what is, culture. What does a culture look like? What does a different culture look like? I admire their hats. Doesn't mean I would want to be one. I would have to give up, like, drinking tea, which I don't do, but, I'd have to give up being English and Scottish. Being Scottish is terrible, but who would want to give up that? Uh, when this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Magus in the card name, look at the top card of your deck. Put it at the top or bottom of the deck. Paisley Magus, good card for any Magus deck. I would use her with. I would use her with my. Oh my goodness. I would use her with my Monica deck just to sort of cycle through cards a little bit. Let's say I get a bad break ride where I look at the top three, choose one to put in my hand, and then the top two are your drive checks, basically. To put one of the drive checks at the bottom and hope that the next one's going to be good or better. It may never be, but you gotta see. Here's the thing though about OTT is that you have no excuse not to run 12 crit. Not enough on hits, and you can't run Tom and then like swing with Tom at 16 and then hope for a trigger because they could get a trigger and Tom will be just 13k. It's anyway. Here's Diviner, Sukuna Hikona. He's all right. I like him. I like his art. I like the aesthetic. I like all the food. He's like a Bacchus or something. I don't know. I don't know what the Japanese have that's, related to Bacchus. God of feasting. Then we have Nebula Witch No. Pretty decent card. Soul Blast 1. Battle boosted. Draw a card. Return this unit to the deck. Shuffle deck. Actually really nice. Again, stands are a little hard to run in these builds, but this makes it worthwhile. Really wish she was a battle sister or something, that was a archetype. It could be run in Genesis decks. Actually, it should be run in Genesis decks. I'm gonna run this in Genesis decks. If I ever decide to make a witch one, I know what's going in that. Another crit trigger. It's almost like it's telling you that you don't need to run draws ever in OTT because you don't. There's more than enough draw in OTT to cover it. Assault Dive Evil. Ugly as Sin. Not going to run. Let's see here. Battle Sister Lollipop, Limit Break Enabler, good card. Some cards are better in some builds, but this one is good in just about any Battle Sister deck that still relies on Limit Break. Cookie being one of them. Having 25 or 26k all the time would be nice. Make her more versatile, but I don't really run Battle Sisters Monica. There's another one that like counter less 3, draw 2, draw 3, something like that. Not the Legion, but someone else. Not Fromage. No, it is Fromage. Yeah, but then again, add that level of damage. 10k attacker, again, useless. There's plenty of stuff in OTT that you can replace it with. Like this guy, he's slightly more useful. Abel Neal. He's one of the ghost, like, secret agent types that runs black stuff for OTT. Black, spooky, CIA nonsense. Soul Blast 1. If this unit is tapped at the end of turn, return this unit to hand. It's not that bad, honestly. First off, it keeps your stuff free. It prevents over-minusing from attires. And it allows you to utilize Soul. This is actually pretty decent. Also, at the end of the turn, he returns the hand, you replace him with something else. You can actually keep him in hand for 4 cards, which means usually your Vanguard will have some sort of bonus or effect or plus. Yeah, you're welcome. Like, I know that certain things require 4 cards in hand when it attacks, so, AK booster. No more Oracle Guardians. Gemini Guardians. Thank God. Thank God. This guy I like. He is a searcher for Susanoo. His name is Divine Sword Ame no Murakumo. Some something in the rain. I like his art. He's like sad. It's like, come on, guys. I don't want to have to do this. I don't. But I'm gonna. Because you make me. Anyway, Tankman Morningstar. Tank Mode Morningstar. I don't know why he's a rare, but choose a grade 1 greater hand. Put in your opponent. Show it to your opponent. Put it at the top of the deck. Shuffle deck. Soul Charge 1. Choose a card for me damage. Don't turn it face up. Can't be used again. It's a minus. I mean, sure, it unflips damage, but it's a minus. Pretty strong. Here's the thing. Even though you're returning like heals to the deck or whatever, it still doesn't really help your need to have a substantial amount of cards in hand for abilities to go off. 12k attacker. Shinetsuhiko. It's alright. Can't tell if he's a dude. I think he's a dude. Hope he's a dude. Would make for conversations very awkward. Beam Cannon. Tankman mode Beam Cannon. Choose a grade 1 or greater. Return it to the top of the deck. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, pay the cost. If you do, shuffle deck plus 5k. Until end of battle. He doesn't justify its existence. Let's just put it like that. There's a lot of other things that you could be playing, and shuffling your deck can be good. But honestly, if you're going for the straight up, what's the name of it, stack that Tsukiyomi and Amaterasu can do, it's not worth your time. Imperial Shrine Guard, Asua. I like his art. I really do. His art is a lot of great color, a lot of pink, red, blue, green, yellow, just sort of all together in this great mix. Belle. Plus a gun. Guns. Ornate. Does he have glasses? Yeah, he's even got glasses. Ladies, he's got glasses. I've got glasses. Yeah. Obligate Robin. Again, another part of the Ghost crew. Counterblast 2. Top 2, choose 1, put in the bottom of the deck. 1 to hand, 1 to deck. It would be better as a 9k, and maybe even playable as a 9k, but he's Counterblast 2, and that's really expensive for some of these cards. Then we have Malefuil, Battle Sister. I don't know what this food is. Like, here's the thing. Like, some of them I get, some of them I've heard of, that you might even be surprised. I've eaten in a lot of countries. No. I've eaten cuisine from around the world. Okay, it's and sometimes I come across these things and I don't know what this is. I don't know if I should look it up. It sounds delicious. It sounds French. Is it pastry? I bet it's a pastry. I'm going to look it up after this, and I'm going to get something to eat. The Counterblast 2, look at top 2. Choose 1, bottom of the deck. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, draw a card. It's alright. There's worse things out there and there's better things out there, but a +1 for Counterblast 2 on command, and it's still an 11k, and it's a Battle Sister is nice. I don't know why you wouldn't draw 1 for Counterblast 2. And then finally we have Soaring Auspicious Beast Kirin. Reminds me of the 12 Kingdoms. On when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, top 2, choose 1, put it in the hand, bottom of the deck. Dear God, Art. It's okay. He's just okay.